Hello, welcome to The Wandering Drew. I am Drew. I want to thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I appreciate it. On today's video, I'm going to do kind of like an update of what's going on with the channel and myself. And this has been a video that I've wanted to do for a while, probably since February. I've been wanting to do it, but I put it off. But I feel now it's a good time to do it because I'm in between some hikes I've done and I'm about to hopefully release a couple of videos on my hike to Cumberland Island that I took. And I know I'm a couple of months behind, and I thought I would just take some time and do a quick video to give an update. So in February, the long-awaited rumor from Garmin that they've been adding rucking to their activities came to fruition. And they actually did add rucking to their lineup. However, they only added it to a couple of premium products. So they didn't go back and do an update or grandfather it into other watches in their product line, which is sad. The good thing is that you can go into Garmin Connect and update your activities and choose rucking. And there's a spot now, if you go into most activities and you see, you can add weight if you carried a weight, which you could have done in the note section, which is what I used to do. When I did rucking, I would put down a weight in the note section so I knew how much weight I had carried on that trip. But the sad part is that if you're carrying the weight, other than, I guess, the metrics that you're already using when you do a walk, like how hard you're working, and it estimates your caloric burn or what you're using for calories during that activity, it doesn't go back and update that. And I don't know if you have rucking on your watch, if it changes some of those metrics or not. I have no idea. I haven't seen any reports that show the calorie burn being changed drastically if you choose, let's say, walking over hiking or rucking. So, but then again, I'm not really using that, and because it's only on their premium watches, it's not enough of an update. I don't need rucking that badly that I'm going to go out and buy one of their watches and update. If I was going to buy a watch anyway, that might go into the mix, but it's not that important to me that I need a rucking activity in order to go out and do my activities. So it would just be nice to have. It's not a need to have. So I won't be probably upgrading my watch and buying one anytime in the near future just to get the rucking activity. So, but it's a nice move in the right direction going forward, and I'm happy to see that they finally did that. Since March, I've had a few issues. Some of them have been personal, medical issues, or whatever, with my knee. I now have the same thing with my shoulder, I think, which is the knee. I have tendonitis, tendinosis. I'm going to find out. I have a doctor appointment coming up. I had an MRI done on my shoulder. I think I have a tear there as well. But that doesn't stop me from walking or hiking. I did start an at-home training program that I selected that is geared toward people that do outdoor activities like hiking, mountaineering, backpacking and skiing and things like that. So I'll see how that's going. I've been doing it for about 2.5 weeks now. It is very humbling to start doing a training program. And you think you're in pretty decent shape because you can walk and carry weights and do all that. But when you start doing other types of exercises, especially some cardio, you realize it's like starting over again. It is very humbling. But I'm hoping that will keep the leg and me strong so I can go out and do hiking. So hopefully that training program will work for me. I do like the fact that it is instructor-led. There's videos. The workouts vary day to day, and they do change from even week to week. So I like that. It's a self-directed program in the sense of, I'm doing it in the comfort of my own home or outside, but there's an accountability to me by going out and having someone text you or send you a workout, check up on you, ask you how it was, how you did, things like that. I like that. It keeps me engaged and I think involved and motivated. And that, I think, works out to being more religious about working out. And I think that will keep me more engaged going forward, where I will continue to do the exercise and the workouts, rather than if I just had a workout on my own, because I could easily design a workout, but I find that after a while, it's easy to say I'll put it off later. There's no accountability. There's no one checking on whether you did it or not. And I think that leads to, skipping or not working out. You can definitely, cut corners on it. And then eventually it gets kind of almost boring because you do the same workout all the time. So I like this so far, and I noticed that seems to work best for me. So I've been preparing for hiking and rucking and all that by doing that. I've cut out a lot of the other activities. It's also extremely hot down here in South Florida right now. It's summer, more or less. I'm recording this in June, so it is hot out here. So it's really not a good time to go out and do any activities outdoors during the day. You have to get out early. It is pretty dry still outside, especially in the Everglades. We've had the rainy season start, but it really hasn't delivered enough rain to really make a difference on the trails yet. So unless we get some very big rain, hiking is still possible out there, although it's just so hot, I don't want to do it. Most days by midday, or especially by even 10, 11 o'clock, the heat index is in the upper 90s to over 100 already. So I'm not really doing any activities outside. I've been doing more indoor activities with that training program. Also, in addition to all the things I've already mentioned, I did have a relative that unfortunately had some health issues, and I've been assisting them a little bit, and that has actually been taking up a lot of my time. They had to relocate and move, and I pretty much helped them. So that took up several weeks of my time, so I've kind of fallen behind a little bit. And because of all those issues, as well as I may be relocating myself, we're discussing moving, many projects around the house that I've kind of put off or haven't done, and just little things I want to do to get the house ready. And those are taking up a lot of my time. So all those things forced me to probably delay coming out with videos, and I have to go back to doing one every 2 weeks. And I know I'm kind of behind already, but it's just compounding. I additionally had a lot of problems with technical issues in the last month. I had a problem with my laptop. I keep getting a notice that my hard drive is either full or failing. So I went out and bought an external hard drive. It's just one thing after another. I really probably need to upgrade the laptop. I've had it for I think 3 or 4 years now. And then I had a problem with my program that I use for editing on top of all that. And I was noticing certain features I was not able to use that I've used in the past. And just something, they did a couple of updates to it, and I did an update, and I noticed after it I was having some trouble with some of the features. So after trying to resolve it myself to remedy these problems for about a week, I had to admit that I have no clue what I'm doing, and I finally called tech support. And fortunately for me, tech support resolved my issue in like 5 minutes. It was a mistake that I had made. There are 2 versions of the program, and I had uploaded the wrong one to do the update. So in essence, I had actually, made a mess of the update to where features weren't working. So very, very quickly, a reinstall with the correct update and the correct version solved all my problems, and I was able to get back working. But all these things compounded to really set me behind, and it was taking a lot of time to edit and produce a video. I realize I don't do a lot of fancy editing. I'm not that good. I admit that. But even with what limited I'm doing, I was having trouble. So I'll be putting out videos hopefully now every 2 weeks. Future plans, all that is in the past now. The health issues, things like that. The knee, the shoulder. I've got a clean bill of health. I just saw my doctor a couple weeks ago, and he basically said, go out and hike, do what you can, and see what happens. As far as they're concerned, there's no reason why I can't hike. I won't know what's going on with the knee until I go out and test it, and that's not going to happen probably to the fall. So my immediate plans right now are obviously to get through the summer. It's too hot down here to hike. I'd like to go north somewhere to the mountains, maybe back to the AT, to Georgia, North Carolina, something like that, and do a hike, a multi-day hike to test out the knee. And the only way I feel I'm going to do that is to go to the mountains. Hiking around here, even on a treadmill, does not seem to activate my knee like the mountains do. The up and the down, consecutive days in a row, are what is the test to me. and what seems to be the problem. So the only way to do that is to get to the mountains. And unfortunately, there are no mountains here. So I'll probably wait till cooler weather and go back up to the AT, or I might go somewhere else and try and do multi-day hiking. Like to do several, 50 miles, something like that, 30 to 50 miles maybe, a couple of days to test out the knee to see how it's doing. And if that works, then I'll know what to do after that. If it doesn't work and I have knee problems, then I have to reassess maybe going forward what type of hiking I do. I might need to pick different trails that are not as dependent on elevation changes, or perhaps I have to do shorter hikes, like in, partial hikes, stages, maybe, section hikes, things like that. I don't know. I'll have to cross that bridge when I come to it. But this is what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to continue to train, try to keep myself in the best shape and fitness that I can to do my hiking, and that's it. So going forward, those are the immediate plans for both the channel in terms of videos and myself as in terms of hiking. I do want to take time out and thank the people. I've got a lot of comments or even some emails from people wishing me well, and it is greatly appreciated. I know that I follow a couple of people, and you do get invested in them and their hike and what they're doing and their activities, and you want to see them succeed. And I feel that same type of sentiment from people when they send me a comment. So I want to thank everybody that's done that, and I appreciate it. And it is very encouraging. There are a lot of good people out there, and those messages are not taken for granted at that. So thank you so much. If you've sent me a comment, I appreciate it. I hope you like what I'm doing. Feedback is always appreciated. I hope that you're getting out there as well with the nicer weather, especially if you live somewhere where it's a little cooler and you're able to get out there and get some hikes done. I hope you're getting out in green time, whatever it may be. If it's just going around the block into a park, doing some activities there, or you're out on a trail and climbing a mountain. But either way, I hope you're getting out there and doing some exercise and keeping fit and getting green time for you, because it is very, very important. I want to thank you for taking time out to watch the videos. I hope you enjoy what I'm doing. Feedback and comments are always welcome, and I try to respond to all of them. So thank you so much for taking time out of your day once again to watch these videos. Till we meet again.